Yeah, as I mentioned, when I was experiencing it through the years, I didn't really think that it's a problem.
Uh-huh.
But then when I started having young female engineers in my team,
Uh-huh.
I really see that, yeah, we need to do better and we have to do better because you really see that having a female but also a diverse team really change the dynamics and the collaboration within the team. You get a different perspective, different idea,
Mm-hmm.
and also even the team spirit is very different. And I think if you really look at it, you get better results.
Welcome to Women Disrupting Tech. My name is Dirk-Jan Upkes, and on this podcast I give the women who work in tech the platform they need to inspire and empower each other. Join me on a journey into the world of entrepreneurship, funding, biases and role models to discover the strategies for success in the tech industry. In other words, how women can disrupt tech. Are you ready to listen? Hey, welcome back to Women Disrupting Tech. Thank you for listening to episode 58. Today we're going to travel the world of deep tech and more specifically the world of semiconductors. Because Carlota Salamat is a director of engineering at NXP and that's a Dutch semiconductor company. She's also one of the first batch of role models at Roll It Out. In this episode of Women Disrupting Tech, Carlota is our guide as we discover the power of role models on a micro and macro level. We will discuss the advantages of being a woman in tech, how she uses her natural tendency to collaborate as a superpower, and we'll discover how she grew into a role model herself. But as you'll learn, Carlota has a more holistic view on creating role models. So Carlota and I also covered the changes needed to the education system and on a company level to create our own pipeline of women in tech. So when you're ready to listen and learn about engineering role models for women in tech, please welcome to Women Disrupting Tech, Carlota Salamat. Hey, good morning, Carlota. Good to have you. Thanks for being my guest on Women Disrupting Tech. A question I always ask at the start of the podcast is how you got into your current job or current position.
Yeah, thank you, Dirkian, and thank you for having me this morning. So I studied electronics engineering for my bachelor's and master's. Throughout my studies and also in the early part of my career,
Mm-hmm.
I always enjoy working in the lab, so seeing how things work with my own eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So I joined NXP Nijmegen 16 years ago
Mm-hmm.
as a validation engineer. So what I'm actually doing is we take our chip,
Mm-hmm.
bring it in the lab, and then see if it's functioning as it should be,
Mm-hmm.
if it's meeting specifications, and also most importantly, making sure that there's no issues when we give it to the customer. And that I
Okay.
really, really enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
I did it for 5 years, and then I transitioned and had an opportunity to lead that team. So with that
Mm-hmm.
same domain, and then over the years, just expanding it to different disciplines within our R&D organization.
Okay.
Recently, currently I'm leading a team around 130 engineers working for a central organization in NXP.
Mm-hmm.
And what we're doing is basically creating boards, hardware to test the functionality of our chips,
Ah, yeah.
and then
Okay.
also to showcase to the customer what are the functionalities of this of our chips, and we
Mm-hmm.
service all the product lines or the organization within NXP globally.
Okay. So is it fair to say that it's sort of a quality control or quality assurance type of
No, it
domain?
is more really hardware design. So we really do
Ah.
hardware design and qualify the boards, and then we do it for all the teams in NXP globally.
Oh, okay. So you don't check afterward, but you check beforehand also?
Yeah, so it is really about a very specific activity. So we basically service the different teams in
Mm-hmm.
NXP. We create the design for their boards. We qualify them. We send them to a manufacturer.
Mm-hmm.
We do the test for the boards, and
Yeah.
then we give it to the customer, the internal customer,
Yeah.
and then they do the full validation, which I previously did in my
Yeah.
early part of the career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for those of us who are not really familiar with semiconductors and chips, maybe explain how important they are because they're pretty much everywhere, you told me.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. It's really important. I think most of basically all the items that we interact in the daily lives have some electronic components in it. So
Mm-hmm.
semiconductor chip is really an integration of electrical circuits like transistor, resistors, and then connections, and then
Mm-hmm.
they do certain function like amplify signal, send some signal, store some data,
Mm-hmm.
and that is really for all the items that we have in our daily lives is needed. So, as an example, yeah, for if you look at an electric vehicle, an electric car, there's 3,000 chips in it, and that is half of a traditional car. So you really see that via electrification, we can really put more functions, safety features, a bit of a smartness
Yeah.
in the items that we have in daily life.
Yeah. Yeah, and that doesn't only apply to let's say the electrical cars, but also to the phones, to the computers, to the well,
Exactly. Yeah,
also
everywhere.
to the passports. By the way,
Yes,
I
which
figured.
NXP is really the leader for that, for the chip on the
Okay.
passport. Yes.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool to know.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Before you came to NXP, I understand that you come from the Philippines. How did you come to the Netherlands?
Yeah, that's a good. Actually, before coming to the Netherlands, I studied and lived in also in Japan for 3 years.
Uh-huh.
I took my master's there, um, and then I was also okay staying and living in Japan. But my boyfriend at the time got a job for NXP. So
Mm-hmm.
after our wedding, I also joined him and found a job in NXP Nijmegen.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
And how
So we are
was
both
that?
engineers.
Yeah. Oh, an engineering couple.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So how was that to transition from let's say Philippines, which is yeah I've never been there, to Japan, which is a really high tech society, to then to the Netherlands, to Nijmegen. How was that for you?
Yeah, so indeed, so I'm quite used to integrating to the new environment. So, and I'm also quite flexible in that sense.
Uh-huh.
And overall, it is very positive experience for me living in the Netherlands and working in the Netherlands. That's also the reason we've been here now for 16, 17 years.
Yeah.
We really built the family here, and my children are born here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when I joined NXP at the time, so that's 2008, in our department, I was the youngest,
Uh-huh.
and then maybe three, four female engineers out of 40.
Oh, yeah.
So for
Okay.
me, that was quite surprising,
Uh-huh.
knowing that Netherlands is quite a progressive country.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, for me, as I said, I did my work and really focus on what I need to do. And for me, it was an overall positive experience. I really didn't see it as a big issue. But
Mm-hmm. Are
in
there
the
more?
last years,
Yeah. Are there
when
more
when I
women?
sorry, yeah,
Sorry. Are there more women in engineering now?
yes, yes, fortunately.
Yeah.
So also young in terms of age and ethnicity,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, the female part is still can be improved, but it's better than. So I think the minority, the ethnicity is really improved. It's very international now.
Mm-hmm.
The age we really had the focus on, yeah, bringing young people because it was really like a lot of mid 40s, mid 50s at the time,
Ah, yeah.
male white guys.
Yeah, or white
Yeah,
males. Yeah. tech
those two,
nerds.
I think, really significantly improved last year's. On the female diversity, yeah, there's some movement, but it's still quite yeah, less than 20%.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. How important is it to have a diverse team, by the way?
Yeah, as I mentioned, when I was experiencing it through the years, I didn't really think that it's a problem.
Uh huh.
But then when I started having young female engineers in my team,
Uh huh.
I really see that yeah, we need to do better, and we have to do better because you really see that yeah, it um, having a female but also a diverse team really change the dynamics and the collaboration within the team. You get a different perspective, different idea,
Mm-hmm.
and also even the team spirit is very different. If yeah, if the team is very homogeneous, is
Yeah.
very homogeneous versus a more diverse team. You get
Yeah.
different opinions, different energy, and it's really more collaborative. And I think if you really look at it, you get better results.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. The better results are indeed shown in studies. So it's a nice bridge to my next question. Because in this podcast we regularly talk about the limitations of being a woman in a man's world.
Hmm.
Um, but I think there's also advantages to it, right?
Yeah, certainly, certainly. And I was really fortunate enough that all my managers in NXP were men,
Uh-huh.
but they really yeah, they saw in me that they also provide mentorship and good collaboration for me, so that
Mhm.
was really good. And I think part of it is also that being a woman, yeah, men are more open to collaborate, so I don't know if it's less threatening or yeah, it is just easier to collaborate and they are more open to me as a female. And as
Ah,
a minority, good and bad, you're
huh.
also quite visible. So it's just easier to build network with it. Yeah,
Yeah, because that was my next question. If that's any different, also if it helps or does not help being an expat. But I guess the answer is yes, because it's easier to build indeed that network. Is it because yeah, you don't look like your standard white male guy?
yeah, yeah. So probably people remember you easily.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's more you're the exception, and then people
yeah,
indeed, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
But interesting that you say it's less of a threat to men. To be honest, I've never experienced it like that. I must say that as a man, I had a better experience collaborating with women in general.
yeah.
For a collaboration between men is more like competitive in.
Yeah, I think it is indeed. I don't know. I just see it from observing my colleagues.
Uh-huh,
It really takes a bit of a barrier, more for men to men collaboration
uh-huh,
versus to women that they're, yeah, in a way a bit nicer.
yeah.
At least in my experience, and they're quite open. Also, as my role as a manager,
Mm-hmm.
when I do one to one, I really see that yeah, they open up quite good, and it is less discussion about this needs to happen like this, but really more building the relation,
Mm-hmm.
and then starting from a good relationship, yeah, developing the trust, and then working on the how do we collaborate and achieve the results together.
Oh, that's interesting. That's much more, in that sense, trust based. Is that then just speculating? Eh? Is that then because men amongst themselves, either there is the level of trust because we know the other guy, or is it because we know we can't trust the other guy, so we
No,
don't focus on it?
I think it's really more on that it's you feel a bit the guard down.
Uh huh.
I think it's not just that there's something going on with the other guy, but it's really just letting the guard down is easier, probably for with a woman.
Okay. So in that sense, then also the men need the women to be
Yeah,
able
yeah.
to
And
collaborate.
personally, for me, it is that is my default mode. I really
Mm-hmm.
like to collaborate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I don't know if you're familiar with the insight, but I'm on the green yellow energy.
Uh-huh.
So collaboration is really and building connection is really quite second nature for me.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. I was wondering because you're now the head of engineering at NXP. I was wondering, in terms of team dynamics, we already talked a bit about it, but how important is well-being there to make people at ease? How important is that for performance? For well,
Yeah, so indeed, it's a team, one of the engineering teams in NXP.
hmm
But I think the core of it, which in my case also not just yeah, it can be universal really, is that the team knows what is expected from their side,
hmm
and that they have the tools, the bandwidth to do their work effectively,
hmm
and that it is really connected to the needs of the organization.
so it needs to be in sync with the why,
Yeah, of the
but
organization.
also with their why,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
suppose.
And I think the perfect combination is really that the individual expertise and ambition,
Mm-hmm.
personal ambition, is really aligned with the organization. And that's really what I really spend most of my time, and I do my best to really align that individual ambition, goals to the organization
How do
need.
how do you do that?
With a lot of listening
Uh-huh.
during one-to-ones, and also being very clear on what the organization is needing. Um, I think everyone has really something expertise on their side, so either technical, hardware,
Mm-hmm.
software, that they really get energy from in development. And then, I mean, a lot of activities are happening in NXP, so there's always place for your expertise and your next ambition.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also quite good within NXP that it will really fostered internal transfer. If it's not in your department, maybe on a different department it's needed.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's really a win-win situation for both the employee and NXP.
Is that also easy to move people around? To
Yeah, I think if it's a good, especially if we identify that the engineer is really a good talent,
mm-hmm.
I mean, it's better to keep them within the organization than lose them to another company, right? So
Yeah.
it is really looking at the total NXP as one team, what is best for the organization.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I meant also in terms of HR, is it easy to move people from yeah if the teams are all in one place, let's say Nijmegen, then I can imagine that it's quite easy to move people from one team to another. But if there's different geographical locations, I can imagine it becomes a
Yeah,
bit more
it also
difficult.
happens. It also happens, and normally maybe in the past you get an expat contract, but most common is that you really have a local contract transfer to another location. But it does happen, and then it's really with your discussion with your manager, seeing what are the possibilities,
hmm
and then from there uh, connecting with HR what are possible for internal transfer.
Okay. So I was wondering because you're a tech leader now,
Hmm.
as a head of engineering, are you also are there any women inside NXP or outside that consider you a role model?
Yeah, that's a bit. Yeah, so if um, I also have within my team and also within NXP already mentoring some female engineers.
hmm
Yeah, I think who am I to say I'm the role model, but at least I get the feedback that yeah, you are inspire me to really pursue the career and that a good example. But yeah, I think everyone can be a role model. I mean, in what we do, in what we deliver as results, yeah, we
Yeah.
can be role model to someone always.
mhm. true. But how does it feel for you to be the role model?
Yeah, in the beginning, yeah, when about this role model training, it was my general manager from our department who suggested it for me. And in the beginning, it was really about the training and also the that being out of my comfort zone and trying new things.
Mm-hmm.
But in the program, I really see how important it is, and then it really also made me reflect about my career. Actually, there are points in my career that with the role model triggered me to take the chance but also do things. For example, um, taking the electronics engineering.
Mm-hmm.
It was my sister's, my friend, my high school friend's sister, who
Mm-hmm.
really gave me an idea. She was the first female engineer I know,
Mm-hmm.
and she was working to this very cool company, Ericsson,
Mm-hmm.
who was yeah, at the time moving from very bulky analog mobile phone that weighs 1 kilo to 2G. So we're
Uh-huh.
now 5G. At the time when I was studying 2G,
Yeah.
and that find for me really that is for me was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then I switched from economics to electronics engineering,
Ah.
and then yeah, and then when I was already in NXP and I was pregnant for my first child,
Uh-huh.
it was really a big concern for me if I can even pursue. I mean, the level of my career, if I can really do it.
Mm-hmm.
So fortunately, I have one female colleague
Yeah.
that has two children and a thriving career. So it really gave me a confidence that I also can do it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
I think that speaks to the power of role models. That it's
exactly.
not
So,
not just
but
in
if
the, it's not just career wise, but
yeah,
also what comes with being a
with it,
woman.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think I don't reflect it at the early part of my career.
Hmm.
Only now, maybe it also comes with the aging
Uh-huh.
that you really want to not just develop yourself but also contribute. I think
Yeah.
all of us, when we really mature, what can I contribute? And for me, if even on a small scale, if I can inspire someone or at least support my fellow engineers to have a thriving career,
Hmm.
then for me that is really a sense of fulfillment to do it.
Yeah, to be able to give back.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're also one of the first batch of role models at Roll It Out.
Yeah.
We already talked about why it's what it brings you and why it's important. What did the training teach you?
Yeah, so the training was really quite targeted. So one is communication, so how you present yourself, which
Mm-hmm.
is very interesting. I mean, I think for me it was always that public speaking was a bit always nervous about,
Mm-hmm.
but I always admire people who can do it. So I wanted to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a very good training. The second one is also about the social media presence.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I'm still trying to do that. So LinkedIn and also in Instagram. And then also, how do you communicate with a different generation? I think
Yeah.
it's very different if you communicate with an elementary or in a basis school or middle bar versus someone who's already in tech.
Yeah.
Those are the trainings that were really well organized and also very effective.
Yeah, but okay. So they also teach you like how to cross generational boundaries, really in
Yeah,
terms of okay, how to talk to a
yeah,
small kid about it
yeah,
versus middle school versus high school versus someone who is well at your level maybe.
yeah. Yeah, so it's
Okay.
quite interesting actually. So and individually, we also in the training that who is your target audience.
Hmm.
So really the persona that you want to address. And for me, it's really the basis, middle bar school, but also engineers starting in their career.
So why is it the people at or children at yeah basisschool maybe to give some context for international listeners, the basisschool is like elementary school.
Elementary, yeah.
So why particularly that group?
Yeah, I think we should really start there because I think if you look at the Netherlands, we are very thin in the pipeline for
Hmm.
female in tech. And it's normally, I think there was a study in McKinsey about it that we lose, where are the drop points, right?
Yeah,
Where we lose the female in tech. So one is really the basis school. Uh, when they go from basis school to middelbaar,
yeah,
and then afterwards, after the university, when they pick the work,
yeah,
and then the third one is mid career.
yeah.
And for me, it is really having that early seed of okay, it's a possibility.
Hmm.
Having the kids interested in tech,
Hmm.
having the opportunity to do hands-on because we organize girls days also within NXP, and you always hear okay, do you do these hands-on experiments or trainings at school? And
Hmm.
not really. So, and I think it starts there that okay, um, there's always this perceptions that boys are better in hands-on things than
Hmm.
girls,
Yeah,
but I think it's just yeah, how to say the drempel, the that you have to overcome.
yeah,
You have to overcome that once you have more experience
yeah. Yeah, women need a bit more, also girls need a bit more trust to
to
take
do
that
it.
step. So what if you could change something in the Dutch education system, especially lower level or early on? What would you change? Would you really bring how do I manufacture a chip into the classroom in some way, shape, or form?
Now, I think on a macro level, and that probably we need the government intervention in it.
Hmm.
I think we really need to have more dedicated basisschool, middelbare school, and technique more than we have now,
Hmm.
and also have diversity also on teachers,
So
um,
more men.
more men
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for if I look at my case, the trigger for me was really I had a teacher who was an engineer teaching us math, but then with
Mm.
the practical
Yeah.
things to explain it. And I think we need that they either we train the female teachers or also have more diverse. Yeah, our current pool of
Yeah.
technique is men now, so we have to bring it in the basis school.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I interviewed Sanne Jongejan, who's a director of education at an MBO sort of vocational school in the south of the Netherlands, and she told me exactly the same. We need more men and more, or educate more the women better to give proper tech
Yeah.
education.
But I think that's on the a bit of a macro level. I think what we can do, I mean, like me, because I also cannot just do it in one go,
Hmm.
is from yeah, also in our companies, right? Open
Hmm.
it to younger girls, right? Like this girls' day, but also do day. Like they we show what we do,
Uh-huh.
that it's also a bit less intimidating and that they get an idea of that, and then push our companies to really do these initiatives more often and structurally.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that we can influence.
Yeah. So more structured outreach
Yeah,
to especially young girls.
yeah,
Yeah. Also because it's probably necessary because you need them in the workforce at some point because
yeah. And
otherwise,
I think the return of investment is not always that short term.
no.
So normally we do a lot of internship already,
Hmm.
but it's really just building that pipeline. A bit on a longer view that okay, we need to start at the basis school, middle bar, and then of course follow them in university, and have that long game of really we want to do this structurally.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you touched on a good point also that that it's a long game. This
Yeah,
is not like we put in a cent now and then we get 100 euros out
you
next
have to be
year.
patient.
It's going to take time, but it's
Yeah.
yeah. Um, Before we go to the male ally part, I just wanted to know. I read in an interview with you with a quote from a mentor that you had. Your career is a ladder. It's not a ladder, but a train ride. So
Yeah,
not
yeah.
the.
Yeah, it was during our one-to-ones. So he's a male manager that I had years ago,
Uh,
and I was asking him how do I transition to the next phase of my career,
yeah.
and that's what he said. So it's really, and I what I get is it's really that your career is not linear. Like
Mm,
there are several paths to go to a certain destination,
yeah.
and that also it is not that fatal. For example, if you try things on a
Mm,
different role, maybe it's a lateral move within a different organization.
mm,
It is checking yourself. What am I good at? What do I get energy in terms of activities? And then trying and really just hopping in the train and see if it's a good fit for you. So
yeah. And
yeah,
if it
but
doesn't work, just get
get out of the
off.
next station.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I said I'm happy that within NXP that is fostered. Um, yeah, and I think there's not. It's really just exploring and seeing how what activities. Maybe the role doesn't even exist, and you have to
Mm,
shape it for
yeah.
yourself. So yeah,
Yeah, true. And you have to feel also feel at ease to just to come back to the well-being part.
yeah.
Is that something that is um, particularly relevant for women to get that assurance that you can always get off at the next station and it doesn't really
Um,
matter?
no, I think I would like to think it is universal for all. I mean,
Hmm.
um,
But do men
maybe
do?
more for women it is more like having a backup plan every time
Uh-huh,
that you have because you also have to consider other things, not just your career, but what is the impact for my family.
uh-huh,
Yeah, this kind of things, right? And unfortunately there are several percentage of women who also quit mid-career,
yeah,
maybe not of their own choice. But for me, it is, yeah, just try it. Don't quit until you really have to quit.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. How can male allies help with uh, getting more women into tech?
I think starts with asking and seeing how are you doing and your
Mm,
team is doing. I think the engineer in me is always, yeah, you have to measure things to improve it.
yeah.
So, for example, in your department, check how are we doing in diversity in terms of if you're a manager, what is in the salary gap? I mean,
Mm,
if 80% of the lower salary are women, maybe that's something, right?
mm,
How is your pipeline? When you do interviews, do you also get an opinion of a female colleague? Do you actively look for profiles from women?
mm,
Yeah, I think it's just to be conscious, check what is happening on your surrounding, and just doing something about it.
yeah. So it starts with awareness.
Yeah.
How do you get into action mode?
Yeah, I think if you really see the numbers and the situation, and for yourself ask, is it important for me? Do I find it important?
Uh-huh.
And then there's no other way but to take action. So during what I said, the taking of a new employee,
Mm-hmm.
but also during meetings, how do I interact with my female colleagues? Once the awareness is there
Mm,
and you recognize the importance, you as an ally cannot do nothing anymore.
yeah. Sounds like a great place to move to my final question.
Hmm.
I have an arrangement with Jacqueline van den Ende. She's the one of the co-founders of Carbon Equity. That's an investment management company that invests in helps high net worth individuals invest in a better climate. And she challenged me to make this podcast irrelevant in
Yeah,
10
I've
years
heard it.
from now. Uh, what would be your expert advice to make that happen?
Yeah, I think for the 10 years, Dirk-Jan, it's
Yeah.
yeah, we what we mentioned already earlier. We need really in a macro level, really a big intervention on this one. If we
Hmm.
really want, if we as a nation find it important that we have the talent pool to compete with other European countries,
Yeah.
we really need to big step up on what I said about yeah, more technical school and basis school, middle bar.
Hmm.
Also, maybe on the arranging the daycare, maybe more support that women can have a thriving career,
Hmm.
support in the career. Also, while we build the pipeline, what do we do in terms of attracting um, technical engineers outside? So
Hmm.
while we build our internal pipeline,
Yeah.
that we also attract the external talent pool.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that's on a macro level that to reach that we can really make a big dent on this diversity that we have.
Hmm.
But on a personal, what we can do, we already also mentioned earlier, is really start on yeah what you can do for yourself. Support the women at work.
Hmm.
Try to be involved in activities with children, involving them in tech, and yeah, supporting supporting women in your organization, for parents, for teachers, inspiring this. So these are the things that we can do. It might take longer,
Yeah.
but these are the things that we can really immediately do and really has yeah as a contribution.
Yeah. So, and those are the small steps that
Yeah.
everyone, including men, can take.
Yes, everyone, parents, teachers also can do. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Carlota, thank you very much for this conversation. If people want to learn more about you or want to connect with you, where would you like to send them?
Yes, LinkedIn is the way to go for me.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think that's the best option. And then yeah, looking forward to it actually.
Okay. Well, thanks very much for the conversation. Really enjoyed it. Listeners will include the link to Carlota's LinkedIn profile in the show notes. With that, thank you for listening, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Well, that's a wrap for this episode. Thank you for listening to episode 58 of Women Disrupting Tech with Carlota Salamat about engineering role models for women in tech. Carlota and I hope that you've enjoyed our conversation as much as we did. And if you'd like to learn more about Carlota, about her work for NXP and her activities at Roll It Out, feel free to connect with her via the links in the show notes. As usual, you can find the show notes at womendisruptingtech.blog. On that same website, you can also become a member of the Women Disrupting Tech community. And if you're a member, you're the first to learn when new episodes or blogs come online. If you're looking for a role model to inspire your own hero's journey in tech, feel free to check out one of the 50 plus other episodes of this podcast on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. And if you're a regular listener, would you consider giving the show a rating or a review? That way, you help other people discover the podcast. Now, if you're a male ally and you want to help Carlota and other women disrupting tech make this podcast obsolete by the end of 2032, there's a simple thing you can do. Please share the podcast with friends, family, and co-workers, because this way you give Carlota and my other guests the platform they need to make it happen. Finally, if you want to connect with me, you can reach me at dirkjan at womendisruptingtech.blog, or you can send me a DM on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, just look up my name and you'll find me. With that, I wish you a wonderful day. I hope to see you in the next episode. And in the meantime, keep being awesome.